Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Super Cast Brothers, the Super Smash Brothers podcast where two fucking idiots think they know what they're talking about every other week. And here's the truth: they don't. They just don't. Ever. At all. They're so off base that they think they can get inside the mind of a madman, and they can't. Like, that mind is like a steel trap. You can't get in there. But yet, they persist. And on some level, maybe that's admirable, but also, maybe it's just insanity. Anyways, I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister, and also a very, very bitter person right now, because while the Kazuya amiibo is in my hands, the Sephiroth one is not, and I am upset. I went to the store to get one, and while there were 8 Kazuyas there were no Sephiroths. There was a label. There was a little place where it should have been, but it was empty. It was empty, and when I got home, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to order one online. Not going to let that one go. There are some I've wanted that I've missed out on because I wasn't collecting them as hardcore then. And then I started getting into them. I was just like, damn it, I'm not going to get these ones now because they're rare as fuck. I ain't letting Sephiroth slip past me.
Look at that lovely creature.
Yes. Yes. Another
This is
version
top
of
of
the
his head.
stick up his ass. There are several of them.
Yeah, that's fair for him.
At some point we need to figure out which amiibo has the most unfortunate, like, extra support placement. Because Donkey Kong is in consideration. And so is
Urbosa
Link.
for the same reason.
Yeah, Urbosa's definitely. Yeah, it might actually be Urbosa. Thinking about it. And then there's Link, who for some godforsaken reason, his stick is
Has a
yellow
yellow one.
and it's
Yep.
off of his legs. Like, why you gotta give a man a yellow plastic stick attached to his leg? That's just wrong. That's just so wrong.
Yeah.
Have we done an episode talking about Amiibo? Yeah, I feel like we have.
It might have just been a discussion. I think that might have been the topic of an episode we recorded but never released. Oh, we did discuss it with Eric Flamezone back in the day on season 2.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I can't quite recall what that entirely was about. It's probably just an overview.
I think we're talking about, like, how we thought Amiibo were handled in Smash compared to other games, and if we thought Amiibo were dead, and my opinion was, outside of Smash, they're dead.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll get something, but they're pretty well dead, which is unfortunate, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
The Wave 1 Amiibo were kind of... Marth.
Bad.
Did a bad job. But then, I mean, like, look at Kazuya. Kazuya looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And I mean, look at this, like, immaculate perfection that is Steve. Like, they got it perfect.
Yep.
And Mr. Game & Watch, I mean, come on, talk about a character that you don't want to screw up.
That is very true. Although it was pretty cool that they gave him 4 separate poses.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. You also haven't said who you are, in case people don't know you.
Oh, yes. My name is Darkrai Fan 42. I'm back from my ban on Cerebi.net, everybody. So I just wanted to say hello, and let's get into this podcast about why Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the best Pokemon games of the series and have no issues. Haters can go to hell. Hey, Tinkaton's pretty cool though.
I will give this to Scarlet and Violet. When compared to Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet is a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sword and Shield has less graphical and mechanical errors, but its
Yep.
story is not fun.
And then they
And
have
honestly, that's more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet
I
and
agree.
Violet, I only ran into one potentially game-breaking bug when I played Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the fact that I fell out of bounds once. It's like, oh, what? How did I get here? I
Hey.
was in the in-game zone. It's like, I am outside of the map.
Mm-hmm.
I am scared to do anything else because I don't know if I will corrupt my save data. So I'm just going to. Oh, cool! I can warp to another location. Ah, good. I'm safe.
Perfect. I also really appreciate that they gave us our 1,000th Pokemon, the Golden Tree,
Go Dingo.
who snowboards.
Honestly, if with all the Paldean Pokemon, if number 1000 had to be anything that wasn't a legendary, Goldingo would have been my pick. So I'm pleased with that. That's a
You have
great
to
choice for
collect
number
all those
1000.
coins to be, yeah.
But not 1,000 coins. You only collect 999.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it starts out with one of them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like the people have been memeing it lately, saying that it looks like the string cheese mascot.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. It a hardcore does.
Uh-huh.
It's
And
one of
they've
my
been
favorite
saying,
design stuff for this channel. I actually really like it.
oh, yeah, I have no problems with it too. Maybe it's the string cheese nostalgia.
It's
But,
honestly, but when you look at Smash potential with Gen 9 Pokemon, I think it's in the top 10. I think it's easily top 10.
Could be a sneak pick, yeah.
I think it's up there with Tinkaton and obviously the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Valiant is in there. I can't remember who else off the top of my head that I really like. That was a good choice. Screamtail for the meme.
What if it fucking happened? How would you feel?
I would feel a little bit dead inside. A little bit.
Yep.
It would depend on if they're an echo of Jigglypuff or not. Because I feel like that's the one God, would that make it better or worse? I don't know. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh god! Imagine it's a Jigglypuff echo, and instead of you get
Instead of sing, it gets hyper voice.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, but I am Jonno.
I feel like one of us is probably going to make a Smash moveset of Screamtail within a year. Within a year, one of us is going to do it.
It's on my short list, to be honest with you.
Same.
So.
I want to do at least one thing from Gen 9 this year. I just don't know who it'll be. It's also going to depend on like if we decide if we want to do a character podcast wise with them or not. Because that's going to I don't want to do one if we're going to do it for the show. So.
I agree. I think like a Goldango or Tinkaton would be good for the podcast. Maybe Screamtail. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. If nothing else, Screamtail could be a showcase.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when I got Sephiroth and Kazi, I also decided to take my last remaining amiibo out of their boxes because it's not like I'm selling them anyway. I got this, which is I think is a pretty neat amiibo.
Yeah, I've got that one too. It's a nice one.
Yeah. Skyward Sword has one of the best Zelda amiibo.
That's one of them that's just like random Loftwing amiibo. I don't know. It's like, okay. Sure.
Callie and Marie, which I know you also have.
I finally when they did the reprints for Splatoon 3.
Yep. Same.
Also, I didn't realize until I got these. I don't know if it's just like how their gloves are cut or if their fingers actually had the cutoff on them.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Let me see.
Oh, Twilix has those.
Sweet. Emmy one turned out pretty decent.
But most of my amiibo are in a box. I have a few that are up here. When I was playing Splatoon 3, I pretty much had all the Splatoon ones up here, and I just haven't put them back.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, all right, Steve and Alex are up here, and Kazuya because they're the new ones. I really need a display. I badly need to display. I badly need to display the stuff I've gotten from conventions, and it doesn't. I don't know how to do things.
One of these days.
Maybe you should just fly out here like for a week and just do it all
Fly out
for
and
me.
build a box.
No, not a box. Why are we building a box?
I don't know.
I'm saying help me hang shit up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Build a box?
I don't.
Why
know.
build box?
I was looking at
your
your media case back there that you put your games in. That could be a plausible amiibo type stand if you had something like that.
Yeah. I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know.
Or something that I've dreamt about recently and will probably never happen is having like a glass display. Yeah, a glass display, and it's just normal. It just comes naturally to me. It's just so normalized. It's like, yeah, whatever. A glass box and just light it up like some people do in their display and put all the amiibo in it. I'm pretty sure I have damn near 100 at this point. Jeez.
I used to try and keep track on an amiibo tracker site and then just gave up.
It's been too long, and the amiibo hype is so. It's a catch-22 because you rarely get amiibo shortages anymore, but the culture and the community that surrounded amiibo back when they debuted is just non-existent.
Yeah, it's pretty much the hardcore Nintendo fans and the hardcore toy fans.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's hardcore Nintendo fan. I mean, we wanted this shit since we were kids, so now it's here.
Who is even left? Pirate, Mithra, and Sora, but is there another person that's left?
From Smash, no. Oh, I should mention, probably the most hype I am about Fire Emblem Engage right now is that they're doing Fire Emblem amiibo reprints.
Oh, of who?
Just for Corrin Player 2 at the start, I guess, because she's the ring that you get at Corrin.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for others. Like there's Tiki Ring DLC in Engage, so I hope that they reprint the Tiki because right now, Tiki's amiibo is going for like $45 on eBay, which I'd rather pay $15 for personally.
I thought something wasn't right. They released these amiibo out of order. For the first time, a DLC character has released out of order for amiibo. Kazuya released before Pirate and Mithra.
Weird.
So I was thinking it was just like, Pirate and Mithra weren't the last fighter before Sora. I know they weren't. Also, I thought I had Min Min. I don't know where her amiibo is.
Interesting. Yeah, the Min Min amiibo, baby, the best thing that ever came out of ARMS existing.
Oh! Got him!
Uh-huh. The amiibo's pretty cool, and the game kind of isn't, so...
I mean, it's a good concept, but it's got flaws.
It's a good concept. The character designs are amazing, especially for Nintendo standards. But... bleh. Yeah, the game itself is not, in my opinion, not very fun. I do have special love in my heart for Helix, though. What a guy. This, some thrashing about. Is that Screamtail?
No, that was my box of amiibo. I'll check to see if I had Min Min, but either I don't, or she's not in the box, or just didn't see it. I don't know.
Huh. Oh, that sucks.
I don't know.
She's around somewhere.
I mean, for some reason, Wedding Bowser is over here. I don't know.
Oh, the wedding set. Wedding Bowser's pretty dapper.
I have a few over here, but it's not Min Min.
Mm-hmm.
I got my signed Byleth amiibo.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. The game voice actor for Sonic is going to be at convention, so I might get that one signed if I go to convention this year. I'm not really sure money wise. Cloud and Sephiroth's voice actors will be there too. Well,
sick.
they're not their remake voice actors, but the other ones.
The original. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's hard. It's weird to me calling them the original voice actors when the original game does not have voice acting. It's a weird disconnect. It's like they're the voices for Advent Children and Crisis Core and the City. So yeah, they're the originals, but the original game doesn't have voice actors. It's like, It's like you can't technically say that they voiced the characters in Final Fantasy VII because they don't.
Nope. Oh, strange.
If I don't have, I actually would like the Min Min amiibo if I don't have it because it's actually a cool design.
Yeah, it is. It is. The pose is great. I would get her, but she's like out of arm's length. She's in the upper shelf. Yeah.
Arm's length.
Oh my god.
It's the arm's length between you and the Min Min amiibo is longer than the length that people played the game.
That's true. I think I may have only seriously played it within the month that I bought it, and then it just kind of fell off.
I beat the story mode with each of the default characters, and that was it. It's like, okay, I got my ass handed to me more times in the basketball minigame than anything else. And,
I hate
and you can't.
Sports games.
It's not. Yeah.
It's mandatory. It's mandatory.
If you fail it, then you can't proceed to the tournament. It's like, what horse shit is this?
That doesn't happen in Street Fighter 2 when you beat the shit out of the car.
It doesn't happen in Smash when you fail race to the finish. It's like, what the hell?
Yep. Oh, I wouldn't have minded that either if it was.
That's part of what killed ARMS for me, honestly, was those modes.
The other part was playing on the easiest difficulty and still getting my ass handed to me by like Ninjara.
Fuck Ninjara. Yeah. Fuck that asshole.
The spite for Ninjara from that game proceeded into Smash, and you just knew it was going to be Min Min or Ninjara, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
God.
I was legit cheering for anybody but Springman, Springtrud, or Ninjara. Anyone but those three. I'll take anyone else. Personally, I was hoping for Misango, because I just think he's fucking cool. But Min Min was my second
like boxing Shulk.
And he's got the masks that do different stat ups. It's like, oh, hell yeah, that'd be great. But,
of the default characters, Min Min by far is the best. So,
yeah, easily.
Cool. Okay.
Twin Tail probably number 2. Because she's the only one that had extra arms. Although Bite and Bark.
Yep.
Robots.
Again, the character designs are pretty great in that game.
Most of them. Mechanica. not the A tier. I don't know if she's B tier either.
Yeah, was that Arms' take on Diva
Mecha?
or something?
No,
or Mecha. Yeah.
Because Mechanica doesn't have the arms gene, so she made a mecha that she could fight in that would have arms for her. Which, again, cool idea. The execution of the design, though, I mean, it looks like she's in a trash can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So, about that Smasher Dash.
Smasher Dash. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
we gotta chance some rates.
Holy cow!
Holy bagolies!
And my that will be my saying going through this new year of ours is holy bagolies.
All right. Well, you owe me royalties.
Okay, I will send you one bagel bite for every time I say it.
How about one bagel?
Okay. Plain?
Cinnamon?
Those are good ass bagels. Yeah. From where? From where are we saying?
I don't know where bagels are sold.
Do you want the grocery store?
Do you know how often I get bagels? I don't. It's not that I dislike bagels, because bagels are actually all right. I just don't get them.
Okay, when you say cinnamon, do you want it with a like a swirl of cinnamon inside, or do you want like the crunchy, sugary cinnamon on the outside?
swirl on the inside?
Okay. That's easy. That's a Thomas brand bagel from Safeway. I will send that to you tomorrow.
I will stock up. Wait, no, I already have like so many sticks of butter. Because we bought more, because we didn't realize we had any, and then we had a lot. It's like, oh no, we're never gonna use these.
Just deep fry the butter.
Oops. Oh.
It's like at the state fair.
No, I got.
You do know that.
I got out of small town Missouri for a reason. No, I don't want to deep fry my Oreos. No.
Just deep fry your butter and pose next to your cardboard cutout of Donald Trump and like it.
No.
God.
I'm pretty sure for that you're supposed to deep fry your ham border.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I get it. Yep.
You gotta deep fry your Big Mac.
We have many French fries here today for the college basketball team.
Man, I'm not even getting political with this. Like, I'm not saying anything either way about any of them, just with these statements, but the sheer audacity of, I'm going to invite an award-winning sports team and give them a McDonald's explosion. It's like, what? I mean, not gonna lie, I would eat it. I would eat it.
Yep.
But it's like, what? You have a White House chef. What?
Feed them a White House Big Mac. I'm sure they can get the flavor pretty correct. Oh my God. Oh, the memories. The memories indeed.
Before we go too far.
And butter is a dairy product made
God
from
damn
fat
it.
and protein components of churned cream. It's a
took
semi-solid
too long.
emulsion at room temperature.
I'm surprised we didn't get here sooner.
It is used at room temperature as a spread,
Can
melted
we
as a
rate
condiment,
their
used as a
chances
fat and
is
bacon
beginning?
substitute
Our first
and
character
frying.
that we're discussing today, we have a common theme for all of today's characters, rate their chances and smash or dash wide. And that's going to be characters from third-party franchises that already have playable characters in Smash. So,
Other cooking procedures.
So, our first character we're just going to be discussing, from the most recent series, we get a character in Smash, Riku from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Mac Daddy Batty.
So, Smash has broken the internet more than a couple times when it comes to announcing characters for Smash. I would say the first time the internet broke was Cloud. I would say the second time the internet broke was Steve. No, I lie. Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, God, yeah.
The third time the internet broke was Steve. The fourth time the internet broke, Sephiroth. The sixth time the internet broke, Sora. Half of these occurrences are Square Enix.
Yep.
It's like, what? Square, you fucking madmen. The real madman thing of it all is that we all assumed, oh, Sora won't get in because of big Disney. Disney won't let it happen. No, Disney was just like, bro, fuck yeah. It was Nomura that was just like, I don't know.
How many zippers can you give him?
How many? He's gotta have the right number of zippers, and only he can touch the Keyblade. Mario can't touch it in your cinematic, and Kirby can't use it in the Kirby hat. I don't know why Nomura talks like that, but he does now.
Sounds like he's from small town Missouri himself.
Fuck. No, that's small town Louisiana.
That's fair. Yep. Sounds like Zero the Hutt as well.
Zero the Hutt, yeah.
What a guy.
Honestly. But anyways, Riku and his chances in Smash. The fact that we got Sora is already amazing.
Hell yeah.
But when it comes to like the next Smash game, I think a lot of people look at Sora as one of those characters that is one of the most likely to not return. Not because he's a low priority character, but because negotiating for him is going to be rough.
Any square character, yeah.
Yeah, any square character is likely going to be a bit troublesome to negotiate for again, at least as far as base roster is concerned. And this is mostly assumptions that we've had after statements that implied Cloud very nearly did not make the base roster because of negotiations, and that Square wanted to get that DLC money, which I get it, but guys, come on. You want to get DLC money? Release a better Dissidia game. Go back to how the first two went, and leave NT in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Some people disagree with me on that, but I definitely prefer the first two games.
Well, at least they're releasing.
Fun.
At least they're releasing the pixel perfect Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection.
The pixel remakes are all right. I just wish we weren't losing a lot of the added fun bits that were added in other remakes, like the extra classes in Final Fantasy V, or all the extra dungeons that the game's got.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from with that one. Yeah,
but whatever. But as far as Riku is concerned, though, if Sora comes back as base roster, then I think Riku has a pretty good chance. I think it's natural to have him follow. If Sephiroth can follow Cloud, Riku can follow Sora. And they could make him work pretty differently, like lean hard on his time as Dark Riku, give him Dark Faraga and other techniques that he's used. Sora is the light side, while Riku is the dark. Riku later fights for the light side as of Kingdom Hearts 2 and on, because he's still kind of figuring out his own path or Chain of Memories, but he still has his dark abilities that he can channel, so he can easily lean on that. But I'm not sure what they'll do strictly because Sora in Smash is KH1 Sora. Everything comes from KH1, except obviously a lot of his costumes. So if they did the same thing with Riku, I don't know if they're going to limit themselves with that, or they're actually going to broaden their horizons a bit. I think you can do it with Sora, but for Riku, I think they need to pull from the wider range of games.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, every time someone mentions Sora in Smash,
an angel gets their wings.
Yep. I still feel pretty. It's still surreal. It's so bizarre. It's like I need to go boot up the game because it's been a couple months and be like, oh yeah, Sora's there.
Yeah.
Like it's how far we've come. Like holy cow.
Sakurai has broken so many barriers with Smash. It's incredible. And
a lot of them in one game.
Yeah.
This last one.
Actually, I was wrong. There is another. The first time that Smash broke the internet was Sonic, or no, Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Snake.
I would say Snake. Yeah.
Snake, then Sonic, and at that point we got used to it. So Mega Man breaking it was really just hype. It wasn't just like holy shit they did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I agree though. With everything you're saying, if they have to pull in Riku, they can pull from other games, of which there are plentiful, bountiful, and in Kingdom Hearts won't be a big issue. If they could, some people have said they can go the route of echoing him and just focusing on his darker things, which I'm like, since they did it to Dark Samus, technically, but no.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. See, here's the thing. We only have two third-party echoes, if I remember correctly. Ken, which makes a lot of sense because he is literally an echo of Ryu in Street Fighter 2. And Street Fighter 1, actually. He's literally just the player 2. And then Richter and Simon, who pretty much pull moves from each other. Yep. So these make sense. I don't think... Assuming Nomura has control, which seems to be implied with Sora, I don't think Nomura would allow Riku to be an echo. It would be full character or bust.
That's true. That's true. And I guess it's just a question of where you pull from his moves, because I'm just looking through his wiki and looking through moveset ideas. There's a lot to pull from. There is a lot to pull from. I'm seeing Dark Javelin, Dark Break,
I was
alterations
going
in Faraga and whatever.
I have notes for moveset for Riku that I was going to make last year, but then I pushed away from it and I did other things instead. I'm hoping to get it done this year, but just to give like a sneak peek, I was going to go Dark Faraga for standard, Shadow Breaker for side, Helm Split for up, Counter Blast for down, and Dark Aura for his final smash. That's where I was.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Let's slam that guy in Smash.
I mean, it's like when I get to working on him again, I'm going to re-look at what he has with moves to see if I want to change any of that. But as of last year, that's what I was going to go with.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. And to Ken's credit as well, at least they pulled liberally from later games as well, like Street Fighter 4, to where he's barely not even an echo. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
The character that arguably should be the most echoey of all the echoes is the least echoey of all the echoes. Like, what? Okay. Sure.
Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but it feels to me like maybe like 60% of the character is its own thing.
Yeah. And
so
there's like some characters like Peach and Daisy where they don't even have any variables that are different. Like everything is literally exact same. They might as well be a costume. Like I feel like if you're gonna do an echo, you should at least like make somebody a little bit faster, a little bit heavier, a little bit better control in the air. Just like give them some parameter where they can excel.
Yeah, at least make it a precedent. If you're not going to have Daisy be an echo, have Alf also not be an echo, or vice versa.
Yeah. Not be a costume, you mean?
Not be a costume, because Alf being a costume and no one else being one still is just so odd and disappointing, to be frank. But as far as Riku goes, he would be a pretty interesting addition. Personally for me, and I know for you too, probably, still want to see characters from different series more so, and characters, by the way, Sephiroth from different games. But I mean, individually, the characters are badass, and they would once again be an internet phenomenon. So it's kind of, difficult to say which way. I mean, if he was in, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is how Sephiroth was. It's like, why? But also, holy shit, it's Sephiroth.
Sephiroth, I think. I think what outside of the Square saying give us DLC money. I think Sephiroth got in because he is one of the most iconic villains of all time.
Oh hell yeah! Yep.
I think that's why we got 2 Final Fantasy VII characters instead of a Final Fantasy 6 or 9 or 4 character. Because Sephiroth is more well-known name. Pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, what the hell are they going to do? Give us Kefka? Actually, could they do that?
Man,
I know.
Kefka. The problem is trying to make Kefka in Smash. I'm just like, I want to do crazy shit, but I don't know if Smash can do that crazy shit.
Gilgamesh would also be a fun one, not to side tangent too much.
He's on the short list. He is on my short list.
Sweet.
And I have weird ideas.
Nice. As far as Riku's chances go, though, I wouldn't say that they're abundantly high. It's as much of a crapshoot as it was to predict Sora's chances. I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they pushed for it, maybe they would get it. I mean, it probably wouldn't be too hard of a sell. They're like, you want more Kingdom Hearts? Sakura and Nintendo would be like, yeah.
I mean, it could be like with Cloud. It's like, you want Cloud and base game? Yeah. All right. Sephiroth is DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like, you want Sora in base game? Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Lark scene is
Riku's
DLC.
what the
What?
yeah, just you wait. You want Sephiroth and Cloud in base game? Tifa and Barret are DLC.
Well, at least it's not lightning.
I'm
It'll be
blanking on.
lightning and Derplander of Light.
There you go. Who is that other girl I'm forgetting about?
Aerith?
Not Aerith. Who is the one
Kyrie?
from the beginning of Final Fantasy VII and remake who has a crush on Cloud?
Jessie.
Jessica. Yeah, Jessie. That's
Jessica!
right. Put her in the game. Put her in. She wasn't very important in the original version.
No.
I was like, Then I said,
And then they do remake, and suddenly the waifu wars have gained a new challenger. It's like, all right.
yep. And yet only one of them are alive.
Well,
So,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Remake is weird, man.
That's true,
Remake is
Zach.
weird.
Yeah, etc. So, enough said. Yeah, it's gonna be Zach and Jesse. Those are the DLC.
Like, Biggs is alive as of the end of remake, and he's not supposed to be. So who knows? Who fucking knows? Jury is out as far as I'm concerned. There's some crazy theories out there about crisscrossing timelines and whatnot. Ah, man. Anywho, Riku's chances.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
It's weird. It's weird. If we had a new Smash game announced and they said Sora is in base roster, then I would put Riku not high, but I'd probably throw him in the 20 to 30 range. It's like Sora being base roster and the way Square is makes Riku have really good chances. But it's very difficult to predict that. We don't know how the next match will look. We don't know if they're going to try Everyone is Here 2.0. Personally, I would love it if they could, because hell fucking yes. Nobody likes it when your favorite characters get cut. And every character is somebody's favorite.
Yeah.
Even some of the weird ones. But hey, whatever. But it's hard to say with Riku. I'm going to go low. I've danced around between a bit of a range a few times. I'm going to go with... Is that too... 6%. I'm going to go 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's too low or... But...
You're saying like 20 to 30 and then you jump to 6?
Well, I was saying 20 to 30 if Sora was announced to be base roster.
True. There's too many parameters that we can't really predict where Smash is going to go after this.
Yeah.
All I can tell you with certainty is there will be another game. I think that the people who say otherwise are completely absurd. So long as the series prints money for Nintendo.
Bare minimum, we'll get an updated port. Bare minimum. Mm-hmm. But that would also be a fucking licensing nightmare.
Yeah. May as well go whole hog at that point and do Everyone is Here Ultimate 2.
Bring Sakurai out of retirement for one last job.
You'd be like, yes, honey. Like the memes.
You played the little video. It's like he abandons his wife and kid again, and he gets on the train.
Yep. But and just like Smash and predicting Smash at this point, are they gonna call the roster and pare way back and basically reboot it? Are they going to save as many people as they can, but they can't save all of them? Is it going to be Ultimate 2? Who the hell knows? It's kind of like Riku's chances. It's like, is it a 20 to 30% chance because he's a very beloved character from Kingdom Hearts and Sora was such a big deal for Smash? Or is it lower? I don't know. I have no clue. And that's why we're going to have a very wild deviation here. I'm going to go 20%.
Oh, wow. That is a wild deviation. Is that the biggest deviation the two of us have had? Yeah, I feel like it is because usually we're fairly close. I'm looking at a few things, but it looks like for the most part, we're relatively close. But wow, actually, I think this is our widest. The biggest deviation I see before, we have a 15% deviation. Oh no, this is not our biggest.
Really?
Leon
That's
Kennedy.
surprising.
Leon Kennedy. I said 50%. You said 70.
Well, I guess if you're considering Resident Evil as a whole, then yeah, maybe. So, okay.
All right. Well, that averages out to 13%.
13%.
All right.
All right.
And I'm okay with that number because I was like when I was trying to come up with my number, I was like, all right, 6 to 13, somewhere in this range is where I'm going to land.
Yep.
Well,
We'll go for it.
Yeah. Our second Read the Chances character tonight is going to be Violet, otherwise known as Kasumi Yoshizawa, from Persona 5 Royal, specifically just from the not an original Persona 5. She was introduced just in Royal to be an additional Phantom Thief and is central to the events of the extra story that is added after you beat the final boss. Violet, my initial gut reaction is no. We're not going to get a second Persona 5 character. We will get a Persona 4 character. But then again, Sephiroth happened. I'm just like, all right, that throws all my metrics out the fucking window. God damn it. I have like one rule left. Arguably 2 rules left. And one of those rules is they have to be a video game character. It's like, what the hell, man? What? Fuck.
Yep.
And then the other rule is like has to have been on a Nintendo console some way. Because Joker technically was in Persona Q2. And Cloud was on Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Technicalities, man. They get you.
Yep.
Violet, though, while Joker is, a more traditional, like, knife-wielding thief kind of thing, she's more of a dancing fencer type. She's a gymnast outside of the metaverse. She has, I believe she uses bless skills for her element. That's pretty much her capabilities. But as far as like her chances, I still don't think they're very high at all. I think they're incredibly low. Even if we were to get a second Persona 5 character, her or Crow make the most sense. I would probably lean Crow because he's more important to the game and also a big favorite. But Royal, a lot of people liked Violet as well in Royal, so there's a chance technically, but I don't think it's high at all.
No. I see. Yeah, I was looking into this earlier, and I guess she's not even in Strikers, and Strikers is kind of just a direct sequel to the Persona 5 original title.
There is one line in Strikers that vaguely references the events of Persona 5 Royal, but you could also read it to reference the events of base Persona 5. Because what it says something that sounds like it's referring to the extra palace in Royal, but it could be a palace in the original game. Not really clear. But nothing else Royal-wise is even referenced in Strikers, so...
Interesting. Okay, but yeah, I agree. So she's a dancing fencer, so she's gonna be Marth in this game. And tug in a 5th clone and call it a day.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, basically, yeah. But it sounds like she has a little bit of magic on her side as well.
I mean, all Persona characters have magic on their side. Everybody has an element, at least one element associated with them. And then she is legit a gymnast, and she is very dancer-like in her movements as a Phantom Thief.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what her weapon. I think it's also she has some kind of like a standard handgun of some sort for her gun. I can't remember what though.
Mm-hmm. Persona 5 is a really, really great game. It's a fan favorite, a cult classic. And I think it's surmounted Persona 3 is the most, or Persona 4 rather, is the most popular game in the series. So it's not impossible, but at the same time, I still think that if we're going to get another Persona character, it's going to be Yu Narukami or something from Persona 6 that we don't know about yet.
Yeah. Of existing characters, my money is on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So with her, it's not impossible. It's just probably not going to happen.
Not likely.
So I'll scoop pretty low on my rating. I'll say like 3%.
3 is where I was leaning. I was debating 2 or 3, so I'm going to go with 3 as well.
Same here.
All right. Well, obviously, that averaged out to a 3% rating. Huzzah!
That was not a wild deviation.
Nope. It was not. Our next choice, though, is going to be from Street Fighter, M. Bison, otherwise known as Vega or Dictator, since, they changed the names of a few characters in the English release of Street Fighter 2. But it's a thing. I can't remember why they did it. Oh no, I think I know why they did it. Because M. Bison was supposed to be Balrog, as a Mike Tyson reference, and I think the translation team was just like, guys, I don't know if we want to do that. Is that going to be a legal issue? Let's just change these names a little bit. So Balrog becomes Vega. Vega becomes M. Bison, and M. Bison becomes Balrog. Why they swapped all 3 of them around and not just 2, I don't get. Or just gave them a different name entirely. I don't know. But then fans also just call them Boxer, Dictator, and Claw to keep it simple. But anyway, that the history lesson is over. M. Bison, right now Street Fighter already has 2 characters, and that's Ken and Ryu. So the question is okay, does Street Fighter need more characters? Technically no. But if they were to get a third, there's a few good options. And I think M. Bison's one of those good options because he is the primary villain to the entire series of Street Fighter. So that makes sense. And his moves are pretty unique compared to others. His Psycho Crusher and other psycho energy techniques he has. Other characters don't fight like him. So that's a big boost to his potential. His main competition is pretty much Chun-Li, arguably Guile, arguably Rashid, Luke, and honestly, I would say those are the only other characters in contention for a third Street Fighter slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree. I don't know a whole lot about Luke. I know a bit about how Rashid can work from your Smescopia wiki moveset.
Luke is the new boy. He was added in as the last character for Street Fighter V's DLC, and which ended up being promotion because he is the quote unquote main character for the story in Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Oh, he's American. I'm sorry. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see. He looks like a UFC fighter. I bet you that is kind of where they went, without knowing about it or reading it right now. Yeah, I think that the main competition at this point is probably between Chun-Li and M. Bison, just knowing the legacy of Street Fighter and Smash and how Smash tends to go towards those characters, the more history behind them.
Military MMA fighter is what Luke is. That's his fighting style. Military MMA.
My goodness. Okay. The Logan Paul of Street Fighter.
Meanwhile, in Bison's fighting style, it's just called Psycho Power because that's the fucking spiritual energy that he channels.
Yep. Yeah, he is a dictator of a underground crime syndicate with weird kinetic powers, and he's a guy that exists. And he's pretty cool. My personal choice out of pretty much anyone from Street Fighter, if we were choosing,
fair,
I have I still have a lot of love for my man Dalsim though, so I don't know. But but yeah, out of the ones that you threw my way, Rashid, Liu, Kim, and Chun Li, I would pick Vin Bison.
Yeah.
Mhm. Chun Li, I mean, I get is a very, very important character from a cultural lens and extremely popular. She and Ryu pretty much cross over into everything, including
Yep.
Fortnite. And
They're
Gaia was there too, I think.
Chun-Li has the second most crossovers out of any Street Fighter character, with only Ryu having more, which, no fucking shit, of course he does.
Mhm. So I
Ryu
think
Ryu is in the
yeah,
discussion for most crossovers of any video game character, period.
yeah, and he's in Monster Hunter and just all sorts of like random.
He's in Mega Man X Dive, a fucking Mega Man X mobile gacha game. Yeah, him and
What the?
Chun-Li is too. Him and Chun-Li
Oh,
are
nice.
both in it. It's like, all right.
Cool. Yeah, I do think that Chun Li's chances are out of money, the highest out of any of them, being realistic. But and Bison, I mean, could be a respectable number. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I would see respectful to me means like 40% minimum.
Hmm.
I think that's what I would call respectable.
Oh, that's what I give Chun Li though, not him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know between him and Chun Li would be more likely. It's I
Hmm.
want to say I feel like it's in Bison
Hmm.
because recognizable villain, but Chun Li
Hmm.
again, crosses over into so many fucking things.
Hmm.
To the point that I was expecting her before Ken.
Hmm.
But then we had the whole concept of echoes, which is like, okay, Ken makes sense. Uh, but again, it's also Capcom. You got so many characters. Why go for a third Street Fighter character and not Dante or Amaterasu?
Follow justice.
Clavier Gavin.
Yeah, that guy.
Jin
Sissel from
Sao
Ghost
Tame.
Trick. There you go.
Let's.
Gumshoe, and his story finally continues in Smash.
If Gumshoe isn't in the next Ace Attorney game, we riot.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
for M Bison's chances, if this was Nintendo versus Capcom,
Oh,
be high
yeah.
up. Be
Hmm.
high up. But for this, I want to go 15%. 15 feels about right to me.
Yep. If it were Nintendo versus Capcom, he and Chun-Li would be in, no question. Just like boom, done. 15 is a good number. I was gonna go 20 earlier, but I think that's a little too high, so I'll just say 15 as well.
All right. Averaged out nicely enough.
Hmm.
Next character, we're going to Dragon Quest, which some may be thinking, what the fuck can you do after Hero? That's literally every main character. It's like, you right. It's hard to think about. But we decided to talk
Slime, of
about,
course.
well,
Just kidding.
Bianca, actually. Bianca Whitaker
Oh.
from Dragon Quest V. Not one of the more recent games, a significantly older game at this rate. And it released in 1992 originally. God damn. And then America didn't see it until 2004. Oh, wait,
What?
no. No, we didn't see it until 2009 on the DS.
Wow.
Fuck.
Hmm.
I want to say, I think Dragon Quest VII might have been the first Dragon Quest in America, maybe? Maybe it was 6? I'm not sure. But, so we got Bianca on here. Why Bianca? Bianca is here because when I was Googling popular Dragon Quest characters, she made multiple lists. It's like, alright, let's look into her a little bit.
Hmm.
She's also one of the 13 characters that was chosen to be playable in Dragon Quest Heroes, the Warriors game for Dragon Quest. So it's like, okay, now not every character in a Warriors game is actually going to be popular choice, but it does lead credence to her that she is a name that they consider important enough to include in a game like that. Also, hey, did you know that there's a Dragon Quest movie on Netflix and that it's an adaptation of Dragon Quest V? And in
Yes.
Dragon Quest V, you get to marry your waifu?
Yep, one of 13 of them.
No, that's Dragon Quest Heroes. There's 3 waifus in Dragon Quest V.
Oh.
And then I believe the DS remake added a 4th, or maybe it was, or either that or it was originally 2 and they added a 3rd. Don't remember which. I think it was the original version had 3. And Bianca is one of those. And in the movie, they basically say Bianca is the canon choice and the correct choice. It's like, all right, I haven't played the game, but also that movie made me want to play 5, honestly, because it's actually decent. I enjoyed it. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect the twist at the end. It's like, what? Okay, sure.
Was it like Xenoblade, where the protagonist actually married all of the wives?
No. The twist is actually it's actually a meta twist, a twist outside of Dragon Quest. I don't want to. Yeah. You reveal at the end that you're in a game, and it's not just a movie of it. It's the movie is literally a guy just like, I can be put into my favorite game. Oh hell yeah! And then it starts breaking down at the end. The world is breaking down. It's like, oh my god, I didn't see this coming. I'm sure there's some fans who are probably just like, that's not my movie. It's like, I get you. But as somebody who hadn't played the game yet, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much why Bianca is here. That's why she was chosen for this. So she's got a little bit of household name to her, which helps for a little bit.
She apparently fights with a pot and pan.
I mean, yeah. What would you fight with?
This. An amiibo.
You would fight with an Emmy amiibo specifically?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
As far as magic is concerned, she also has magics primarily relating to fire spells and buffs. She actually does not have a heal spell. So she breaks like the whole trend about how like, oh, the female character is the healer. No, Bianca is actually a badass. At least in the movie, again. She is one that's just like, nah, I'm the childhood friend that we're gonna go out into the fucking woods and go do shit. It's like, okay. She's not your typical female secondary lead character in RPG. It's like, oh, I'm the damsel, save me, and then I'll heal you with my magics. Nah, she fucking kills shit.
God, it's like TurboTax and his wife.
And then in Dragon Quest Heroes, they have they give her a bow to use as her primary weapon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a character in Smash whose primary weapon is a bow at the very least, so that sets them apart.
Surprising.
Yeah. Could have had Takumi. It hurts to even say as a joke. Yeah, Bianca is a fairly well-loved Dragon Quest character, and when you're approaching this series, it becomes very difficult to say, okay, who is the clear-cut choice for a second representative after Hero. I think you could just throw in a few more Hero alts from other games and be like, okay, there you go. Call it a day.
What would you call that on the character select screen? Hero 2?
Oh, I just meant within the hero. Like, instead of having 4 alts of the same for heroes.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
like,
not a whole.
I thought you were saying a second character that's just like, also heroes. Like, what?
Nope. No. That is dumb as hell.
Yeah, it is.
That's why you would have expected it from me.
Yeah, it is.
You could go Dragon Lord or one of the other villains or Rocket Slime or regular slime, God forbid. Which honestly does not seem that unlikely, which is kind of.
I feel like if we did get a second Dragon Quest character, I feel like it will just be like one of the party members in one of the games. Like it just
Mhm.
make the most sense to me. The villains are kind of monstrous.
Mhm. Yeah. And Bianca is one of the party members, and she's one of the most popular party members, and she's
Mhm.
constantly crossing over. She had a movie based off of her game. She's
She's in
in
Fortune
the
Street.
yeah, a lot of them, a lot of the Fortune Street games she's in. Um, Otherwise, it would just be kind of a flavor of the month, like um, popular party member character. Like, what would they do right now? They'd be like,
Sylvando.
yeah, exactly.
So,
That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna
so
be like, here's Sylvando.
Sylvando and Eric, I believe, are the popular choices from Final Fantasy. Dragon Quest 11. I'm pretty sure those are the two more popular. And then Jessica from Dragon Quest 8, and that's the extent of my knowledge.
All those are fair game. I know that Eric just had a Dragon Quest Treasures come out.
Yep.
That spinoff where
There's
they're
also
like, yeah.
I can't remember his name offhand. I think it's in Dragon Quest 4 or 6. One of the party members in that game is also the main lead in Dragon Quest Monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Joker?
No. The original
No.
Dragon Quest
Okay.
Monsters. The original.
On the Game Boy. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. But let's see here. Monsters. Terry.
Okay.
Yeah. Terry and Millie are characters from Dragon Quest 6. Dragon Quest 6 released first. But then Dragon Quest Monsters takes place in their past. It's them
Interesting.
as fucking kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Terry
really
looks like
cool.
a kid on that box art.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to see like what it said about. Yeah, Terry is 17 in Dragon Quest 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old he is in Monsters, but he's young.
He looks like he's like 8 years old.
He's essentially a Pokemon trainer in that game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So there's a fair amount, but I do think that someone like Bianca or Jessica, you know, I think they're among the most popular like evergreen characters.
Yeah.
So Bianca's a good choice. You went over her skills. I mean, it's clearly quite different from Hero. There's a lot of room to go. I wouldn't be mad at this character being included. It's just like, again, what are the chances? At this point, and I'm saying this as an ignorant American, mind you, because I know Dragon Quest is extremely popular overseas.
Yep.
Though I think that Square Enix, if they were shoving more fish into a barrel at this point, they would probably still try to shove more Final Fantasy down our throats before Dragon Quest. I feel. I'm not sure.
I mean, Final Fantasy is more popular globally than Dragon Quest is. Dragon Quest is big in Japan, but not as big globally.
Mm-hmm. Kind of interesting how that turned out, because when those games first came out, they're pretty much on the same footing.
And considering that Final Fantasy was Square's answer to the original Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm. No, true. Yep. So I don't know. I'm this one's just a shot in the dark. What are you thinking about her chances?
I mean, like with each of the other ones that we've talked about so far, they're low. I feel like that's going to be the case for almost any third-party franchise that already has a character in Smash, because they're already best represented with the character they got. Some series, you could make a bigger argument for some characters. Like, I think a second Sonic character, you could make a stronger argument for, because somebody of the tier of Tails, Knuckles, or Eggman is going to be way bigger tier than somebody of Bianca or M. Bison.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going low. I'm going huge Dragon Quest series. Which side character are you going to go with? Popular one, but there's still several options. I'm going 8%.
Mm-hmm. Which Dragon Quest is she from again? 5?
5.
I'll go 5%.
Dragon Quest 5, Hand of the Heavenly Bride.
My God.
Because the big mechanic is marry your waifu, and then you get a time skip, and you're playing as your kid. Spoilers
Nice.
Watch the Netflix movie. We already spoiled the ending, though. I
Yep.
wasn't going to, and then Jonno guessed it correctly. It's like, all right.
5, and so there's 3 choices for your bride.
I believe
There's
so.
Okay, and it's the 5th game of the series.
It's Bianca, who's your childhood friend. I think there's like a princess, or maybe she might not be a princess, but she's like a merchant. It's like a wealthy merchant's daughter. I wonder if I can find where they all are.
All right. Well, I was going to go 5, but then because Dragon Quest 5, but 5 plus 3 is 8, so I'll go 8.
It is only 2 in the original version, but then in the remake they added a third because it's Nera is the daughter of Rodrigo Briscoletti, who is like an important guy, so she's an option. I think he like gives you the option to marry her when you help him out. At least that's how it works in the movie. And then Deborah is Nero's older sister, who apparently is very spoiled.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That option sounds very clear to me outside of canon as well. Then,
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's like knowing what minimal I know about these characters, I would choose Bianca.
I agree. So there you go.
There we go.
I'll agree with you, right? So
all right. So combining ours together, it's going to give it an average of 6.5% chance, which, yeah. Our final choice for Rate Their Chance today might be our weirdest choice. I don't know where to begin, but it's the ghost from Pac-Man. I don't know. I think you can absolutely make a moveset out of them, and I would probably give them the Bowser Jr. treatment, where it's like you have Blinky, and then you have Inky, Pinky, and Clyde. It just changes the name between all of them. They're all like different alts of each other. Instead of having me like, there's one and like they summon others for attacks, I would just do the Bowser Jr. route. And then you could throw in like other ghosts from other games, like there's Sue from Miss Pac-Man, or there's
Yellow Ghost.
There's Funky from Pac-Mania. There's Yum Yum. There's Yum Yum, who is the daughter of Blinky and girlfriend of Junior Pac-Man.
Oh God!
What?
Oh, God.
This is the Pac-Man lore I didn't know that I needed. I did play Junior Pac-Man though as a kid. The game I had. It came with a cheat code to be invulnerable. Like, that was Junior Pac-Man's thing. You could just be immune. It's like, all right. And
Sweet.
Junior Pac-Man is the older brother to Baby Pac-Man.
Oh my God.
Listen, man, I don't know.
Yep. And there's Pac Dog and Pac Scholar and all these other guys too.
There's like Tim, there's Miru, there's Spunky.
Yep.
Orson.
Orson is the ghost that pilots Talkman in Pac-Man World.
Bigaboo. Master Dr. Bunnix. Dr. Bunnix from Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Oh my God.
Hey, there's a reason why that one didn't stick.
Winky. Aw.
From Teletubbies. No.
Oh, wait, no, Creepy isn't a ghost. Creepy is just, they did a Pac-Man ghost-like skin for Minecraft over a guest. Oh, wait, no, it's not that. It's a... Wait, no, wait. Oh. Okay, no, yeah, that is a DLC pack. Never mind. Yeah. But it looks like they added like extra mobs. It's not reskins, if I'm understanding this correctly. Because Creepy is apparently a ghost with the powers of a creeper. So it's a fucking a gas-sized flying creeper. That's terrifying.
No, thank you.
Absolutely
my God.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Pac-Man ghosts. What they would do in Smash, I honestly have no fucking clue. I got nothing for what they would do offhand. You could pull from games like Pac-Man 2, not Pac-Man 2, what's it called?
World, Land.
I think World is what I'm thinking of. The game on the SNES. It's like Pac World 2 or Pac-Land 2 or something.
Oh,
Where
Pac-Man 2, Pac in Time.
no, not Pac in Time.
Okay.
But it's like fuck. I know what game I'm
The
thinking of.
New
I just need to find the
Adventures.
name. The new Pac-Man, yeah, the New Adventures. The New Adventures on
Mm-hmm.
the SNES. That's the Pac-Man game I knew as a kid. Besides, like obviously normal Pac-Man, because my grandma
Mm-hmm.
actually really liked that game.
Mm-hmm.
So that they could probably pull some stuff from that or from other like adventure-y Pac-Man games, or you could go even more retro with it and have them use things from other Namco arcade games and characters that like wouldn't get in on their own. Like have them do something with Mappy, or I don't know if this is a damn game, but like do something from Burger Time or Rally X or whatever the fuck. Just go weird and have them just incorporate the old school Namco games into all of their moves. That'd be cool. It's like Pac-Man's Namco Roulette taunt, but in a move set.
Yeah. Holy. Yeah. There are things you can do with these characters. It's strangely exciting. I think it's a combination of having played a lot of these games too, like Pac-Man: The New Adventures and Pac-Man World and Pac Attack. There's a lot of there is unsuspectingly, like Pac-Man kind of sails a little underneath the rubble of the Mega Man and the Sonic, and it's a lot less grand despite being the older character, but there's still stuff to pull from that could make a pretty interesting move set.
It's just hard.
Mm-hmm. Give them, just say if Pac-Man's locked in stone, you can pull from other arcade titles, pull from other adventure titles or world titles. So there's ample room, but it requires research for sure.
Yeah.
I think one of their moves could probably easily be becoming invisible for a few seconds. I mean, that seems like kind of blasé, but par for the course.
That could be their up special. They go invisible and then they
Mm-hmm.
teleport.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that could be Mewtwo style or Pit and Brawl style. Who knows?
One of their taunts would be going in that blue form where they're vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's different items you can take from Pac-Man Rally, the obligatory kart racing game.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's room for it. I mean, this is a character that I made notes on a while ago that I was like, I want to maybe do this, and then like, it's something that I'm strangely attached to.
They've been on my radar as well.
Oh, cool. Maybe we could do a Smashtopia episode about them.
Maybe.
Maybe one of these days. Halloween special, Pac-Ghosts. Not a bad idea. We'll talk about it after this. As far as the chances go, I mean, God, that would be a what the fuck choice if there ever were one.
Yeah.
Obviously
Namco, Bandai Namco, really. The big hitters that we haven't gotten yet is Tails and Soul Calibur. But if we get a Tails character, we get a Soul Calibur character, the playing field opens up a little bit. But it's...
Yeah, and even then, there's other arcade characters to contend with. There's Tower of Jiraga, there's Mappy, there's Valkyrie.
Well, yes, there are, but are any of them... Yeah, any of them as high a tier up as Pac-Man? I don't think so. Plus, if you could theoretically use Pac-Ghosts to somehow represent a lot of those older Namco games, that would be a way that you could include these characters that otherwise are not big enough on their own to be considered.
Mm-hmm. True. That's true. Kind of like how Mappy, for instance, right now is relegated to part of Pac-Man's taunt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is Heihachi.
He had his chance.
I think Heihachi is the only character in that taunt that has modern appearances. It's like, okay.
Yep. Yeah, random. It's very, but okay.
Yeah.
Yep. As far as their actual chances go, it's just like For the next game, I don't know. I feel there's always the outside shot for these characters, but I do feel like this character is currently not very high.
Yeah,
like at all.
It's weird.
I oddly would like for this to happen quite a bit, but I think I'm going to go with 4%.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like my range was somewhere like 10 at max. 10 is my max.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sure like what number I wanted to land on. 4 feels fair. Cause just look at the characters that I've already given rating to this episode. I mean, yeah, the only one that we've discussed so far that I think I could definitively say for sure that he has a higher chance than is Violet, easily. Riku and Bianca are a bit of a more toss-up. I don't know if they have more chance than that. Just because of like, hey, at least here's like a central character, not just one of many to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
But for
did it because there's
Smash game, game, that's how we're supposed to approach this, not just Smash period. I think 4 is fair.
Okay.
All
so
right.
we had one wild deviation and then literally the same number for all the rest of them. Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was floating between 8 and 5 quite a bit, and then confused myself. I think we averaged out 5 and 8, so that's good.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's our rate their chances. Let's go ahead and go into our Smasher Dash matchups now. Our first matchup. Again, we're continuing with third-party franchises that already have a character in Smash, and we're not repeating any, so there's not many left to really think about. Although, again, they're already in the title of the video, so it's not a surprise. But we're going to go with Geese Howard of Fatal Fury versus Heihachi Mishima.
Oh, that guy.
Tekken.
We just talked about him.
We did. You want to talk about him some more?
Yeah, they're both evil corporate overlords.
Specifically Heihachi.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are both evil corporate overlords. Honestly, a perfect matchup.
Yeah, it is. Heihachi, a man who had his time in the Sun Smash, and I'm not entirely sure if he'll ever have it again, because his son has usurped him and thrown him over the volcanic ledge. But he's a pretty well-known and iconic antagonist in fighting games. He runs the military corporation known as the Mishima Zaibatsu, which, and is known for doing many devious, strange things. And there's a lot of family drama going on. There may or may not be a mother who's dead in there. There may or may not be characters who literally become demons in there. Like, it's kind of all over the place. But he himself,
No, go on.
Yeah. Okay. He himself, he developed his own fighting style, obviously named after himself. It's a Mishima martial arts that he fights with. It's a rather brutal combination of several different martial arts. And he has kind of lightning charged capabilities when using the Mishima style art form. Bada bing, bada boom.
And then there's Geese Howard, the charismatic evil of Fatal Fury. He's been a villain, he's been an anti-hero, and he's the chief boss and CEO of Howard Connection, corporate, bosses. And just like how Heihachi gets thrown into a volcano by his son, at the end of Fatal Fury 1, Terry fights Geese at the top of a tower. Geese loses, falls off the tower, lives, but then dies 3 months later in the hospital. That's it. That's the story of Geese Howard. Now, how is Geese alive in King of Fighters games? I don't know. What?
That is
I
so
don't
ridiculous.
understand that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I think, actually, it looks like they might be two different timelines, which is also weird. But the first Fatal Fury game is actually the origin of the King of Fighters tournament, because much like how Heihachi, again, more comparison between these two characters. Heihachi creates the first Tekken tournament in order to recruit the strongest fighters into a military force for the Mishima Zaibatsu. And then Geese is the one who is hosting the King of Fighters tournament. So,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Also, in another alternate timeline for the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, there's Lady Geese Howard playable in some games where it's gender bent Geese. There's also gender bent Terry. So it's like, all right, that's like when we had the clue for Ponytail as a character for Smash. Some people thought it might be Terry, in that he was gonna have an alternate costume that was gonna be Lady Terry. It's like,
the fatal cutie.
Yep, that is what that character's nickname is. Yeah.
Sure.
Also, after Geese dies, Terry adopts his son, Rock Howard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned how Heihachi invented his own martial arts style. Geese, I'm trying to see what his style is. I'm not seeing it listed where I was kind of expecting. Oh, it's a fusion of karate, aikido, and then an energy mastery taught to him by a guy called Tu Feng Ru, or however that is pronounced. I'm pretty sure I did not say it correctly.
It's like that story arc in The Last Airbender. Unlock your
chi.
Yeah. Basically, I forgot what they called it.
Is that a chi or chakra? Actually, I think it was chakras.
Chakras. Yeah,
chakras. And Aang left early and didn't finish the process, and then got fucked up by Azula.
At times.
Very nearly died.
Yep.
Anywho, what'd you think?
Geese is also a DLC character in Tekken 7.
He is. These two characters have canonically fought.
Yep.
They've also fought Negan from The Walking Dead and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Tekken 7 is kind of wild. I'm surprised they don't have a Street Fighter character.
Not going to be Smash. All considering their failed crossover, they should have just tossed one in.
There's supposed to be a Tekken cross. There's supposed to be Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Tekken Cross Street Fighter developed by the respective companies, and then Street Fighter Cross
Akuma
Tekken
is
died.
in Tekken 7.
Oh, that's right, he is. I forgot. Not who
he's in the game. He's in the game itself and has a rivalry with Heihachi that goes. I don't understand.
He wants to kill Heihachi because Heihachi's wife pretty much asked him to. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the full deal, but that's Akuma's story. It's like, your wife asked me to kill you, so I'm here. Like, okay.
These fighting games are completely ludicrous. They're like the best soap opera shit. Like, what in the world?
Also, Heihachi's best friend is Kuma, the grizzly bear.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And Panda was like a prodigy of Kuma's or something. It's weird.
Yeah. It's like after Heihachi loses the first, I also did King of Fighters, the first Tekken tournament to his son, he secludes himself with only Kuma as company, and he goes into hardcore training. Like, all right, calm it down. Man, you know who they should have added as another crossover character? Bo Raicho from Mortal Kombat.
Ooh. Oh,
the drunk guy.
Yeah. I would be down with that. Why not? I mean, Tekken, and then they had Gon, the dinosaur in Tekken 2 as well. I mean, it's just kind of all over the place.
There's also Alex, the boxing velociraptor.
Yep. It's also the Blessed series that gave us Mokujin.
And Tetsujin.
Pac-Man once rode them.
Yes.
And I think Heihachi and Kuma fought Mokujin, and that was kind of how they trained. So yeah, I know a whole lot more about Tekken, obviously. I don't know a lot about Geese's fighting style, so my lean is kind of naturally Heihachi, and also just how absurd Tekken is kind of feeds into that as well. I don't know, though.
So I actually watched footage of both
Mhm.
characters and kind of like what their moves have been like over the years, and also combo showcase of them in King of Fighters 15 and Tekken 7, just to see what they are like right now. As far as what Geese has a lot of kicking based techniques, which he's a little bit of punchy, but his normal attacks seem to be mainly kicks. He's got like a couple command grabs, and he's got like some more energy based special moves, because Tekken doesn't really have a lot of energy based and projectile type attacks. It's mostly like kicks and punches. There's some things with some characters, like obviously Jin has his devil form, which is wild. But Geese actually has projectiles. Like he has a floor projectile that's very similar, if not identical, to the move that Terry uses for his standard special. It's a version of that. He has some move where he like hits the ground and sends like these like tendrils or claw marks of energy up around him. And a few of the things like that. He's got some like super move technique where he throws somebody up in the air. He channels his energy, and then as they're falling, throws out his arms and just fucking annihilates them. They're dead. It's his kill move essentially. So some games I've seen it be attached with like either like a fire effect or like a thunder effect, but then in like the original games, there's like no special energy effect to it. But then also Heihachi, when I'm watching his videos and see his moves, it's just like, all right, Kazuya does that in Smash, Kazuya does that in Smash, Kazuya does that in Smash, and that and that and that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, I see why we added Kazuya to Smash and not Heihachi. It makes sense now.
Because Kazuya has the Mishima art form, but he also has the Devil Gene.
Yeah, like they have like their own like variants of the same moves, but they're still the same moves. They're just technically orchestrating them like in a little bit different of a way. Like you throw your punch a little bit different and whatnot.
Yeah.
So Heihachi is Kazuya light, or would be in terms of Smash, which really hurts him in my opinion.
He's also known mostly as a grappler outside of those moves, which it's kind of in Cinnamoroar now.
Man, one of the videos I saw, I think it was his Tekken 7 reveal trailer. Like, there's like a good 10, 15 second chunk where it's just him using that attack on different characters, just repeatedly. He's like, okay, why are we showcasing this for 10 seconds? This is insane. It's a simple, like, he just grabs them and just, like, throws them over his shoulder in front of him. Geese, by the way, has a similar move, but he's actually throwing them back over his shoulder.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And with a, like, actually, I think he might have two variants of that. And one of them has, like, a big old blast of electricity when they hit the ground. It's like, Jesus Christ. Also,
so
he's really good at billiards.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Normally, you don't see that kind of crossover, but an interest. So good for him.
Counterattacks are actually big lore for him. He's able to. It said that he's able to reverse almost every kind of strike that's intended to be landed on him. So you could go with something like along that line. He can summon thunder. He can sense the presence of people nearby.
So he's a human. That last one. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it sounds like he and Terry do have a few things in each other's books, but much less so than Heihachi.
I think it's mainly just the standard special projectile. And I think that's because the original game, they probably wanted Geese to like mirror Terry in a way for thematic reasons, so they gave him that same attack. In the first game, They didn't seem to have like a lot of different moves from what I could tell in a video, but
Yeah, it
then
really
they
started.
really added with more appearances.
It really started to ramp up with Mark of the Wolves and went from there. Yeah, I think now that you've elucidated on Geese's move potential, I do think the choice is clear from at least that standpoint. If Kazuya had not been in Smash,
Yeah, then it
my
would be
lead my
Heihachi.
I would go Heihachi for sure. But Geese is now strong competition, and I think my vote just on the basis of being unique. Say that Kazuya is in the game, Smash 6, and we have Geese or Heihachi. It's obviously I prefer Geese.
Yeah, it's like when we made these matchups, it was just like, man, Heihachi and Geese actually have a lot in common. It's actually kind of insane. It's like, this is a really balanced matchup. And then I started looking into the moves for each and was like, oh, this is actually a really bad matchup. Because Heihachi, like, I think it's very unfortunate, honestly. I think this is part of the downside of Kazuya getting all of his other specials from Tekken as input moves in Smash. It kills every other Mishima character's any other character that fights the Mishima fighting style is lost. They're out. You can't even echo them because Jin maybe you could echo because he also has the Devil Genes, but it kills Heihachi's chance because Heihachi can't even echo because he doesn't have the Devil Gene in him. And it would be weird to be like, okay, so Kazuya gets all these moves for inputs, but then Heihachi gets them on specials. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, and this is one of the I think this is one of the clearest matchups that, to me, one of the matchups that most clearly shows the difference between like character preference to in Smash preference.
Yeah.
I think Heihachi is vastly the more interesting character from an antagonist standpoint personally, and there's a lot of weird and funny shit that goes on with his story. But Geese is the better choice to Smash.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Heihachi, you've been dashed. Geese, welcome to Smash.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, just his sheer willpower to survive a 4,000-foot drop for 3 months, I guess. Yeah, good. How oddly specific as well.
And it's also like in the original Fate of Fury game where they literally had that text in there. It's like, oh, we're not even gonna like have a sequel and then say he dies. Like, we're just gonna say here. It's like, all right, 30 months after the final fight, he's dead. It's like weird. All right.
Yep.
Maybe Lady Geese Howard will do better.
I looked that up as you were talking about it. It's not a bad design, not over the top. So it's all right.
So I only saw it was in a clip of just like evolution of Geese Howard moves, and they threw in that in there. It also threw in the Neo Geo Fatal Fury game, which I didn't know existed. It's like, what? What? It's like, all right. Don't know, but yeah.
The Terry one is kind of cringy. Okay, we're just a little bit.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot. That's what she looked like. Yeah, yeah. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy.
It just doesn't seem like they had fighting in mind when they made that design.
During a time after the events of King of Fighters 14, Terry wakes up into a dimension with other female friends. To her surprise, she found out she/he, that's what the wiki says, she/he, not my words, has a female body which put him in an embarrassing situation. It's literally, you wake up the next day in a reality and you're a girl now. They really went with that for the plot. Oh dearie.
That's such a strong trope in a lot of Japanese media. It seems
Wow.
like Danganronpa does it, ish. I know there's a character in the first game that they comment frequently on the way that they dress or something, right?
Not like that though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a more complicated discussion. But yeah.
Okay.
Man, what?
Yeah, this is I guess what they would call smut. Like just like bottom
Ooh!
barrel kind of just thing that happened that they did.
Yeah, I don't know why that game exists.
like like the Senran Kagaras of the world, like okay.
Uh,
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
it's weird. Anyways, our next matchup. We're going
Yeah.
another pair of characters that actually had more similarities than I realized they did when I decided to pit them against each other. I was like, wow, they have so much in common. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Raiden from Metal Gear and Viola from Bayonetta.
Yep.
All right,
So
Mr. Metal Gear. I
you're
may have
also
watched
Mr.
all
Metal
the
Gear
games
now.
this past. I mean, I watched all the games past year, but you know them quite a bit better than I do. So take it away.
Raiden, also once upon a time known as Jack the Ripper when he worked for the President of the United States.
Jack.
He is a mercenary, a new recruit working at the big show with the Patriots with Foxhound. And you go through most of Metal Gear Solid 2 playing as him instead of Snake. It's kind of a fun
They fake you
fake
out.
out that pissed a lot of people off back in the day.
Like
They're
you
like,
started
"Who,
as Snake and you
Snake?"
play as Snake for like what 2, 3, 4 hours, something
Mm-hmm.
along those lines, and then you have a time skip and you're Raiden now. It's like what? Who the fuck's
Yep.
this guy? And then fucking the fake out again in Metal Gear Solid 3. It's like you sons of bitches.
Yep. Yep. Uh, yeah, and then he's just kind of he's tag teamed with Snake quite a bit through 4,
Yep.
and he becomes basically the cyborg ninja's replacement after he gets kind of fucked up.
The third
And
cyborg ninja, really.
that's true. And I think that this is where we'd probably predominantly come from. We don't want him to be a Snake clone; that'd be silly. He would come in with his Metal Gear Solid 4 or Metal Gear Rising move kit, which he also already did in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale as the yeah.
Who would who would
Who
want to
would
clone a
care at this
snake?
point?
No, who would want to
Yeah,
clone a snake? Like that's just silly.
I don't know. It's
It's
like it's
like
the entire
what
basis of the
of
series.
the fucking franchise.
Uh-huh. It's caused me more headaches trying to figure out
Yeah,
on my own than I would like to really even say.
yeah, and
But it lets
and
some pretty cool cutscenes.
and with the way Metal Gear has left off, ignoring anything with the company that owns it, uh, Raiden is pretty much the future of the series, or at least that's how it appears for now. Unless they
Mhm.
decide to make more games and like in the past and like fill them into little chunks. Solid Snake story, pretty much done. Again, like they could fill in holes, but I feel like you'd be better served just doing more with Big Boss or giving us
Mhm.
a Liquid Snake game even. That'd be fucking wild.
Yeah, you
But
do.
as far as like
Mhm.
where the timeline is at its most recent point, it's Raiden's story now.
Yeah. The story of the snakes is done.
Yeah.
Canonically speaking. And if they somehow manage to undo it and keep, I mean, spoiler alert for an old game at this point, keep Snake alive past the Fox die, what would be the point? Anyway.
Tekken de-aged Heihachi.
That's true.
I'm
Boy.
just saying.
The sad thing is that I know if they revealed Solid Snake was alive, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I mean,
But, yeah.
he's not dead. As far as we are aware at the current point in time, he's not dead. He's just rickety. His bones go creak when he raises his arm.
It felt like a months-long prognosis by the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
But maybe he's on the moon. Who knows?
All right, Cap. Captain Snake.
Captain. Oh, if that's where they want to go with it, then sure. But Raiden will still be the main character.
Yeah, more than likely, unless Sonny.
Yeah, I think so. Could be. Let's do it.
Sonny should be one of the main characters. Should be one of the main support characters of the next Metal Gear game. It should be continued to the timeline. I'm just gonna say that. Sonny deserves to be a lead.
She's a fun character.
Like,
throw her in an apron and get her going.
Otacon has had his time. It's Sonny's world now.
Yeah, poor Otacon.
Just don't have her make eggs.
No. No.
Poor Otacon. His dad's a piece of shit. Holy shit. Because again, like, I watched all the Metal Gear games this past year, partly in preparation for this episode. And also just because it'd been on my list to do for a long time. And you know, when you first meet Otacon's dad in Peace Walker, I believe it's where he first appears. He's like, oh, okay, he doesn't seem that bad. Maybe Hal just misunderstood his father. It was a case of dad was never home, so I hate him. And then Metal Gear Solid 5 happens. Like, wow, Huey, you're a piece of shit. Why do we not get the chance to kill you?
Yep.
You're awful.
Yep.
You're a terrible person.
This is true.
Fuck Huey Emmerich so much. He's the one villain you don't get to kill.
No. He handles that himself. But
does he? I don't remember.
Not quite so satisfying. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Raiden. So I guess we'll move on to Viola now. Viola is the new character that's added into Bayonetta 3. She was first revealed in, like, I want to say the second trailer for the game, and we were told, it was like, oh yeah, she's gonna be a new playable character, which was crazy because up to this point, Bayonetta was the only playable character outside of, like, multiplayer mode. I don't think Jean was even playable in Bayonetta 1 or 2. I don't think. Her and Rodan are playable in the multiplayer, but not in the story. I don't think. But Viola, she's an Umbra Witch, much like Bayonetta does. And at the beginning of the game, well, Bayonetta 3 is all about the multiverse and a bunch of bad shit happening. And she comes from one of these alternate realities where she is the... Spoiler alert, I guess, even though the game really winks and nods at it heavily and just wait. I don't think they ever finally fucking confirm it until it's like at the ass end of the game. But Viola is the daughter of Bayonetta and Luca from another reality. So we got Bayonetta's daughter here in the ring. She has a katana like Raiden. So there's similarity one right there. And through the events of the game, she has her own witch time. Instead of working by, like, dodging attacks and countering them, it's more like she has to parry to get her witch time, which from the LPR I watched, he struggled to activate her witch time a lot. And it sounds like that's a common thought that people don't like her witch time. She doesn't really use guns. She's more about her sword. Or maybe she doesn't get, because it's... What the... She has darts. She has throwing darts, apparently. I missed this knowledge. She has throwing darts that are called Bull Kiss. Interesting name. Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Don't know. That's weird. But her big thing, whereas Bayonetta has, like, all these different summons of Madama Butterfly, Gamora, and The rest of them, whose names I just do not remember, but one of them is a giant spider, and I hate that personally. Instead, Viola has one called Cheshire, which, if you know Bayonetta, that's rather curious because one, that's the nickname that Bayonetta gives Luca. Again, an early hint that they're connected. And also, Cheshire is the name of the little stuffed animal toy that that little baby Cereza has in Bayonetta 1, which Viola's Demon Summon Cheshire looks like a giant size of that little toy. Big hints about who her parents are right away, which is why I don't really consider it a spoiler, because they really heavy-hand it to you. They just refuse to outright give it to you. And when you summon Cheshire, he is the sword. So she's giving up her sword to summon this giant demon, and you don't command him. He just goes out and does his fucking thing. He runs around, he hits opponents with his claws, he's fucking brutalizing them, whereas Viola is pretty much left to doing hand-to-hand combat at that point, and I guess darts that I didn't know she had. Whatever. He also has a zip line, which was given to her by her father, because that's what Luca's main mode of transportation is he uses a zip line that he throws around. Oh, apparently she also gains fairy wings. I forgot about that. So yeah, she also has, kind of similar to how Bayonetta has the butterfly wings from Madame Butterfly, Viola has a pair of fairy wings.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. With the way Bayonetta 3 ends, much like how Raiden is the future face of Metal Gear, Viola is the future face of Bayonetta.
Bayonetta dies?
Yes.
Clears up some issues with the
every Bayonetta. You meet so many different Bayonettas across the multiverse. Egyptian Bayonetta, Chinese Bayonetta, all of them die. They all get murdered. And then at the very end, it's actually the final fight is actually kind of interesting with the sequence, because there's two more Bayonettas join in the final fight, and they have the exact same designs as the Bayonetta from 1 and 2, which is really cool. It's not the Bayonettas from 1 and 2, because the Bayonetta from 1, 2, and 3 is all the same character, but it's like how the multiverse, like you'll have like vastly different realities, but then there's also that reality that's just like a hair turn different. So that was a fucking cool sequence. But yeah, Bayonetta dies, and in the end, Rodan's just like, so what's your Emperor Witch name gonna be? She's just like, call me Bayonetta. It's like, all right.
Jesus
Christ. So Viola is Bayonetta now, because Bayonetta's real name again is Cereza.
Interesting turn of events. And also, like, Kamiya recently was like, we could make like 9 Bayonettas. We could just keep going and going and going.
They've already said that Bayonetta 4 is going to deal with the ending of Bayonetta 3. Some people say, okay, go to the Underworld or what the fuck ever and bring back Bayonetta. And I would not be opposed to that being like the main story for Bayonetta 4. But Viola is absolutely going to be the lead. Not counting the prequel spinoff that we're getting here pretty soon.
And Bayonetta 5 will be like a God of War deal with Bayonetta and Viola. Just kidding.
Girl! Use your arrows!
Oh,
but I have darts! No. Use them! Okay.
That's the bonus of being in a fantasy world, is you can pull that off and not have a lot of crap thrown at you. But unfortunately, we can't have that happen with Joel and The Last of Us. Anyway.
Girl, take my place as the main character. Okay.
Interesting backstory. I'm glad that the third game has been pretty good. I still haven't gotten it. I loosely know the story of the series, just not vaguely. Like, I was surprised to learn that she was ate like Bayonetta's kid, and I was like, okay.
It was not well hidden at all.
No.
There was no point to hide it.
Yeah. I like her design too. I mean, it's almost like it's almost Dante-esque, It's like, just kind of
when you first see her, it's like, this is a lot. But I think it works overall.
Yeah. And Raiden, I mean, yeah, he's a cool guy. I mean, he's never going to be Solid Snake, but he's a cool second fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing against him, and he has a lot of cool shit. You know, I was not the biggest. Rising was the only game I didn't finish in my ascent through Metal Gear land. And frankly, that was because at the time, 10-ish years ago, I was like, wow, this is a difficult game. It's like, holy cow. I just wasn't used to the playstyle, which is,
You
again, it's a
finished
platinum
Metal Gear
game.
Acid?
No, sorry.
Oh.
I
Metal Gear
did
Acid
not play Metal
2?
Gear. No,
Oh.
out of the Metal Gear games that I played, of which it was not all of them, but it was the ones from the main story. To be clear.
So Portable Ops.
Yes, I did play Portable Ops.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, so Viola has a bunch of shit that you kind of went over.
Yeah.
Raiden, combo heavy ninja dude.
They're
ninja
both combo heavy and ninja-esque.
Interesting.
Like, fuck. Like, they both have a katana as their primary weapon, but then the difference is that neither one of them uses guns like their counterpart does. But Raiden is more about, I am a cyborg ninja, so I can twist my body in these really weird fucking ways and do crazy combos. And then Rising also gave him a few, it's classically, you know, with these action games, you beat a boss, you get a weapon from them. It's a thing. I don't remember if Viola actually gets weapons from bosses in Bayonetta 3 or not. I don't remember. I know Bayonetta does, but I don't remember if Viola does. But Raiden, the only weapon I remember him having is like this gigantic fucking staff that he gets in Rising. And that's because the LPR I watched pretty much only used that one for the other weapons. And then Viola, like, basically the big differences between them are Raiden has a few of these extra weapons and can do weird body contortion. And Viola is just like giant demon bear.
Which, to be fair, is quite a sell.
To be fair, it's quite a sell.
Yep. I looked it up just now. Yeah, Raiden does have a few. His unique weapons include a pole arm, some size, you know, like Electra has, or pincher blades. So blades that are, what? Let me look this up.
Pincher?
That
makes me feel like Voldo's claws.
They look similar to, they're like a giant version of, it's kind of given like a Shredder from Ninja Turtle kind of vibe.
So Wolverine.
Yeah. Oh, but dual-handed. They look like saws, but there's two of them. They're like a pair of scissors.
What are they called?
It's weird. Pincher blades. Like a pincher bug. Yeah.
Where the fuck? Oh, Bloodlust. Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Wiki, for not giving me. Okay, here's a picture. No, those are just two swords. That's just a fucking saw. That's a fucking large saw blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he had Bloodlust, which is these large saw blades. Then he has size, and then the fucking pole arm, which is massive.
So yeah, it's interesting. And he, I don't know. You can pull from other things too. Like in his time in Metal Gear Solid, he's also a drone pilot. If you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, you can throw in some guns from his first appearance.
Yeah, there's no reason why not, because Snake in Smash does not cover guns at all. So yeah, so you can toss one in there. Call it a day. Probably something like a Gatling gun would make sense. These are both characters with a whole lot to them. Both pretty much because of Platinum Games.
Action RPGs. Who are both worked on by Platinum Games.
And who both would offer a second character to their series.
Yes.
Interesting. I was thinking in my head for a second. It's like,
the matchups are perfect, honestly.
They are. they are. This turned out more interesting than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and I paired these together before I watched Bayonetta 3 or any of Metal Gear, so it's like, yeah, sure, these two make sense. I'm just like, oh my god, I fucking get gold.
Mm-hmm. And you did. And now, where are we going to go with this gold? Which direction are we going?
I mean, I do have a lean. And this lean mostly is when you look at these two characters' differences. And then also, I guess, their personalities, because one character is a little bit dry. Let's be honest. One character's a little bit dry. But then if I'm looking at like what they can do, Raiden is like 90% his sword. 95% his sword, really. As far as like where Raiden is right now. And I think if Smash gets Raiden in, it's pulling from Metal Gear 4, it's pulling from Rising. We're very minimal, if anything, of Metal Gear 2, I feel like would be used for him, outside of like maybe referencing like some dialogue or whatnot, or a codec conversation where he talks to the Colonel or something. Viola, though, well, again, you know, most of her combat is the sword as well. She does have she can throw away her sword to summon Cheshire, which means that she's not able to use Witch Time because she needs her sword to do the counter. So that's kind of an interesting risk and reward type thing that you could do with her. And she's got her darts that she can toss. I don't know what they exactly do. I don't know. She does not have the bullet arts that Bayonetta or Jajan have. She has she has her own demon masquerade thing that I don't fully understand. Because again, you know, it's been a while since I watched, so it's not quite fresh in my mind. But she has her like a transformation form that she could use for like a Final Smash type of deal. Or just to like do a dash attack for us and like do a claw swipe or something. I don't know. But it's pretty much, do you want cybernetics and twisty shit and just like sword combos? Or do you want a little bit of magical flair and a fucking demon bear? My lean is the magical flair and demon bear.
Yeah, the demon bear sells it. I mean, to be clear, yeah, Raiden is a character. He's cool. He's got some tricks up his sleeves. He's a good guy, you know. But I was also, again, Solid Snake to me always stayed the most interesting character of the two.
Snake and Big Boss easily. They're both great characters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Big Boss is I think Big Boss probably edits out Solid Snake by a hair for me.
Honestly, fair.
Yep. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I want Metal Gear to continue, and if it's going to continue with Raiden, so be it. I will definitely play the games. But I'm less attached to him than I am to this theoretical idea of Viola, who has so many different things up her sleeves and doesn't sound like just a carbon copy Bayonetta, like Sean would be. Although Raiden
would literally be an echo, just the exact same.
Could happen, but
Jean's gameplay segments in Bayonetta 3, because she's also playable, in order to avoid her being just a carbon copy of Bayonetta, she's only playable in this 2D platformer-like sections. That's the only time Jean is playable. That's how they make her unique.
Jesus. I mean, sounds fun, but Jesus. So yeah, I'll go the Bayonetta route on this one.
Well, Viola is the winner, it seems. I thought we were going to have a tiebreaker here, and that the tiebreaker would overwhelmingly be for Raiden. I was like, there's no way Viola wins a tiebreaker.
I think that Raiden would have won a tiebreaker as well, but and he's a celebrated character for a reason. But I think that she has more interesting things up her sleeve. From a mechanic standpoint, I think that she has an interesting design. And as the face of Bayonetta moving forward, may offer more to gaming in the long run than a character from a series that may be dead.
Right. Well,
Hmm.
Metal Gear's not dead. It's got a pachinko machine.
True, and it's survived, literally.
Yeah, that's. I didn't watch every Metal Gear game because I didn't watch Survive.
Fuck that.
I
watched a guy beat
also
it one
quit
time,
watching Acid because like
which was
this
sad.
is not fun. This is not fun. Everything else I think I did watch. I just skipped Acid and Survive. Well, and Acid too, technically.
Hmm.
But I think everything else I
Hmm.
saw. Some wild
Oh,
shit.
yeah, the card game. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and
do that.
Acid isn't canon to the main timeline either. Portable Ops even is like half canon, half not. Sometimes it's canon, sometimes it isn't. Like, okay.
Hmm. So yeah, I am going Viola.
All right. Well, then we have our winners for today's Smash or Dash. Geese Howard and Viola, also known as Bayonetta. And they'll be returning again once we get to our Tournament of Champions 4 at the end of the season. We'll see if they're able to come, how far they'll go in that tournament. Personally, I'm going to doubt either of them wins, but who knows?
Oh, Geese is gonna go all the way. Geese versus Grind Dog.
Fuck. It's like looking at like who we have coming up the rest of the year for Smash Bros. I honestly don't know who will win. I have a couple that I think are like have a higher chance than others, but this might be our weirdest overall year of Smash Dash contenders yet. Which if you're not repeating characters, that's gonna fucking happen eventually.
This is an oddball year, that's for sure. There's a lot of interesting and bizarre matchups coming up.
Yeah,
I see maybe two like literally maybe two characters that have an edge above the rest, but I just don't know.
yeah.
I just don't know.
I see like 3, but 2 of them are going against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
probably
see.
We're probably looking at the same fucking thing. Anyway.
Probably. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and draw this one to a close for our next episode. On topic. That's how the cycle goes with us. And it's a sequel episode. What? That sounds weird. Well, last season, we put on our hats and we sorted some characters into Hogwarts houses. But we only got through a third of the roster. So we got Curb Walker on the phone and was like, hey, you want to do part 2 of that Harry Potter Smash Brothers Sorting Hat episode? And he's just like, yeah, Mike, I'll do that. Sign me up. And it's happening. We're doing part 2. I don't think we're going to get to the whole roster in this episode. We'll probably get through,
another third.
And then we'll probably do part 3 in season 5, I'm going to guess. Unless by that point Kirby's is like, nah, Mike, fuck you. I don't have anything to do with you anymore. And then, you know what? That'll be it. Or we'll do it ourselves.
What would this Emmy be sorted into?
Well, it doesn't have a mind of its own. So it doesn't. It's a muggle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hufflepuff.
Nah, it's a muggle.
Okay. Fair.
All right. That's it. Get out.
Go Azerta.
Go find something else to watch or listen to.